Hello and welcome to another anime lore and fury video. I'm Shergog, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at the character class that is the name giver of the entire anime of Overlord, the Overlords. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations. And with that said, let's continue with the story at hand. The anime Overlord revolves around the Overlord 1 Ulgon, but the character class itself, which of course is also named Overlord, is highly interesting on its very own. And before we discuss the different types of Overlords and speculate about which type 1 Ulgon could actually be, let's first get an overview of what an Overlord actually is and what abilities they possess. The Overlord is a character class from the video game Overlords Online. It represents the highest tier of skeleton magician, requiring also the Elder Lich and presumably also the class Night Lich in order to be unlocked. And the Overlord class itself offers up to 5 levels in it. And again, it is essentially the culmination of the character class hierarchy in Overlords Online in terms of undead magic caster. And the minimum level to enter this character class is level 80, meaning even the lowest level Overlords can pose a serious threat to a level 100 player, especially when they have a numerical advantage. And Overlords are also known for having relatively high stat values, as seen in 1 Ulgon's overmaxed mana bar, which indicates the potential within this class, even though not every single Overlord may have this large of a mana bar at its hand. Now let's discuss the most crucial abilities that the Overlord character class that 1 Ulgon has chosen offers, and the first ability I'd like to talk about is Dark Wisdom. This class allows 1 Ulgon to presumably perform rituals that expand his spell repertoire. And 1 has learned 718 spells, which is more than double the regular amount. And in the new world, Dark Wisdom could also be the reason why 1 Ulgon appears to stumble from one master plan to another, as this ability might unconsciously influence 1 Ulgon's behavior, making him a true mastermind, even if his own consciousness is unaware of it. The next ability I want to take a look at are his Auras of Despairs. Each of these 5 auras has severe and ever escalating effects, while Aura of Fear, level 1, induces extreme fear in enemies, as demonstrated within the Wise King of the Forest. Aura of Fear level 5 is so potent that all creatures lacking the necessary resistance to it instantly die when exposed to it. And with that said, let's continue with Arcane Vision or See Invisible. Both effects allow 1 to detect hidden enemies. If, let's say, level 30 enemy were under an invisibility spell, 1 could still see it. However, 1 would still be unable to perceive a hidden aura, simply because her ranger skills surpass that ability by far. But nevertheless, it is extremely useful, and in the new world, this also enhances 1 Ulgon's normal vision, so that he could, for example, keep up with the super fast shell tier. Moving on to his immunities, the Overlord class grants 1 a total immunity against unholy and negative energy based attacks. In other words, one cannot harm the Overlord with its own weapons. And 1 is even healed by negative energy. And next is his turn resistance at level 3, meaning a basic turn on that from someone like Robert Dyke would have little effect on 1, although Aqua could potentially cause greater damage here. Furthermore, 1 is nearly immune to slashing and piercing damage, holding the highest resistance of level 5. And damage to his status, i.e. a reduction of his stat values, is also very much mitigated. Moreover, 1 is immune to ice-based spells and attacks. His dry tough bones, are simply unaffected by cold temperatures. Additionally, 1 possesses high-tier physical nullification, rendering him immune to all physical attacks from players and NPCs under the level of 60, so you can't swarm him or other overlords like the ones in the library of Ashurbanipal with just a couple hundred trash mobs and expect them to win. However, this immunity can be broken by item effects like the one possessed by the sword Razor Edge. 1 also has high-tier magical nullification, demonstrated well in the fight against the Sunlight Scripture, negating any magical damage and any magical effects below the 7th tier of magic, regardless of who the caster is. 1 is also completely immune to acid, which not only aids in his daily bath, where a slime girl scours off dirt from his bones, but also it protects him from acid-based attacks and environment effects. His bones are simply too magical and too resistant to be corroded. Moving on to 1's electric immunity, which makes it so that things like Call Greater Thunder cannot harm him, regardless of the spell's strength. So once again, you can't beat the Overlord with its own signature move. And lastly, 1 has the ability to drain energy from living beings using negative touch, similar to what Kazuma did with Darkness. However, 1 cannot transfer this energy, but it still does regenerate his health pool in the process, while his enemy would receive a status penalty. And finally, let's discuss the undead that an Overlord can summon and control each day. With Create Low Tier Undead, 1 can summon up to 20 zombies and skeleton warriors or undead birds. Create Middle Tier Undead allows the summoning and control of 12 middle tier undead, like Death Knights or Death Warriors. And the Undead Corpse Collector and Jack the Ripper would likely also fall into this category. In addition, there's Create High Tier Undead, allowing the summoning of, for example, 4 A-ball corpses or other high-level undead per day. And people who only have watched the anime might not know that 1 summoned these undead to detect those who placed Sheltier under mind control, since 1 suspected that Sheltier was a trap, not like Mare but like bait within a trap, which he then would knowingly trigger to then catch the attackers that tried to trap him, using Aura's world-class item, the Depiction of Nature and Society. And these eyeball corpses are likely also inspired by a D&D monster known as the Beholder. And to conclude all of this, it should also be mentioned that the spell Call Greater Thunder is essentially seen as the signature move and the most well-known spell of the Overlord character class, since nearly every single one of them will have and use it. Finally, I want to explain the 3 subclasses or subcategories of Overlords. The first is the Overlord Wise Man. This undead Overlord specializes in utterly destructive magic, wielding an array of powerful spells, making it the most potent caster among the subcategories. Next is the Overlord Chronomancer. As the name suggests, this Overlord masters time magic, and it is capable of freezing opponents in time, and likely casts spells like Curse of the Years that rapidly ages enemies or objects, thus destroying them in the process. And the third is the Overlord General, specializing in the creation of powerful undead and leading entire legions into battle. But unfortunately, we don't know which category our Overlord Ein Solgon falls into. He can unleash devastating spells like Call Greater Thunder or Reality Slash, and he has specialized in devastating death magic. Unlocking the Eclipse class, which grants him access to the ability The Goal of All Life is Death. This of course suggests that Eins might be an Overlord Wise Man. On the other hand, Eins has mentioned time magic and immunity, as essential necessities for a duel against him. He also employed time magic with deadly precision against Gazav Stronov, which links him to a chronomancer, and the fact that he can summon legions of the undead, and the fact that during the fight against Sheltir Bloodfallen, Ainz expressed how disadvantageous this fight is due to not being able to summon high-level undead to assist him, since Sheltir could otherwise use them as essentially healing potions with her lance that regenerates her health, which speaks for him being an Overlord general. Moreover, Ainz can summon powerful undead like Grim Reaper Thanatos or a Death Emperor by sacrificing experience points, which further reinforces this very impression. And with that said, now it's your turn. Let me know what you think about Ainz Ulgon and his Overlord class. And of course, which type of Overlord you think that Ainz Ulgon might actually be. Let me know all of this down in the comment section. And while you type, let me quickly say thank you very much for watching and special thanks to Ada Daddy Ada, ASK, Bad Guy Yee, Bad Burrito 316, Biza, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley 0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Placido Saxophone, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Feralchivan, Guy with That Hat, Hector Marino, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia with a Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Lovebaser, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, Oh Hell No, Normal Toad, Oh Kill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Q&A Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rock Ed Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vashorgai, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Zinukai, and Zonagon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.